What's up, subscribers? Sunjutsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and talk about the curse of the Suicidal General. Now, this is something that us veteran Total War players, not even too much veteran, the ones who've played Shogun 2 know that the AI has had, I'm not sure if 100% now it does with all the updates that might have gone into it. I think maybe every once in a while you will get it, but the AI in Shogun 2 and Fall of the Samurai will literally just throw their general right at you. Right at Ashigaru pipe walls. Right at your lines, your infantry lines. Without any real concern for the safety of the general. And this made it extremely easy, even on hard difficulty, to kill most of the armies in Shogun 2. Well, actually, yeah, in Shogun 2, actually I would say in both Shogun 2 and Fall of the Samurai it was pretty easy, because in Shogun 2 you could literally just pike wall and they would run their general right into that pike wall, kill them. And then in Fall of the Samurai you could have a line of infantry just blast at the general as it starts coming forward and kill all of them there. And back in the day we would have blamed this or talked more about this as being a AI problem with the AI rushing you, and that the AI would rush you and wouldn't really do any sort of tactics, wouldn't really go around your flank, wouldn't try to pull you in. It really wouldn't do much besides just throwing everything it had at you. And unfortunately this wasn't something that was a trait to certain generals or certain leaders. This is something that almost every AI, every army you face did. It would be cool if certain leaders and certain generals would have had the tendencies to get upset, or if you had raided them, or you had sent your spies to destroy something that they owned, or you know, just disturb them in any way. Then he would get upset and send his whole army at you in anger. That would be pretty cool, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. The reason I'm talking about this now is because unfortunately in some of the footage that we've gotten from Total War Warhammer, including the battle that we had, the quest battle that we had with the vampire counts versus the greenskins, we see this behavior again happening with the AI. That they send in their generals unsupported. They send in, now we have these agents that can be on the battlefield, and they're very, very vulnerable. Some of the magic spellcasters, I mean, I'm not sure if they are vulnerable, but they should be vulnerable. I mean, depending on their armor ratio and all that. Though there's still one person that should be more vulnerable than, say, one of the generals. But they send them in undefended. They have them out in the open. And the generals themselves just kind of lunge into whatever group is close by and, you know, does their deed, puts their blade forward and tries to destroy as many of your troops as it can. And I'm thinking this could be the resurgence of the curse of the Suicidal General, a general that just rushes in odds that are definitely not in its favor and is killed. Now I want to go ahead and give you my thoughts on it. From the quest battle that we saw the greenskins fight Bretonia, and from the other one that we saw with the vampire counts fighting the greenskins, we did see the AI kind of just throw their general forward. Now, from what I saw, it isn't too much of a aggressive AI type of behavior, because with the Bretonia army, I saw that they tried to outflank your position at least. They did rush most units forward. They didn't actually, what would properly be a better plan, in my opinion, would be setting up a line, coming up forward, setting up a line, which Attila does actually to some effect. They don't really do the outflanking thing, which to its credit, Warhammer tried to do in that battle. And what they did was they flung everything forward. They surrounded you. Try to go around your flank, but it's kind of hard when you're the AI try to fight a human player. And then they send their general straight in to basically get killed. I don't recall at this moment whether he died or not, but I'm pretty sure he just ran into the huge group. When we watch the battles with Prince of Macedon on Joey, on the stream. I mean, we saw some of the armies, the greenskin armies, kind of break up into groups, trying to take down the groups that you had broken up into, which is cool, which is good. That's showing that the AI kind of is mimicking sort of what you're trying to do, or trying to adapt to what your movements are, which is good. But its generals just jump right into the fray, swinging wildly without any support. Now, what is my opinion on this? Personally, in a normal, and I'm talking normal, I mean historical Total War game, this should not be happening. In Shogun 2 and Fall of Samurai, it did it a lot. Rome 2, I think it did every once in a while. But in Attila, it really doesn't happen. In a historical Total War, it really shouldn't happen, honestly, because that would instantaneously be the death of your general, as we've seen in the past, and it shouldn't be something that should be celebrated. It shouldn't be a tactic that we should be celebrating. Unless, say, there's circumstances before the battle that take place, or like the demeanor of the general or of the leader, that he's got that I'm just going to throw everything at you kind of mentality at you. So that's my opinion. But because this is a fantasy game, Total War Warhammer has the benefit that these leaders, these generals, these legendary lords are basically supermen. They are mutants. I'm not saying they're literally mutants. I'm saying, like, just in terms of power and strength, like comparable to comic book superheroes. They are either they're Superman, they're mutants, they're genetically altered. They're just way better, way stronger than the average warrior. Way more than any upgrades could have put on any of the generals in Shogun 2 through Attila. Way stronger. So when they just jump into the fray, it actually sort of makes sense with some of them, especially the greenskins, in my opinion. I mean, we did see Manfred. He did the same thing as the vampire counts. I mean, you kind of just threw him in to wherever you needed him, because he doesn't have. It's just basically him as a single unit. I'm not sure if he gets more men or a circle later on. That'd be pretty cool if you get more followers, a guard or something, and that way you can upgrade that. But in the video, he didn't really have that. But it makes more sense because of how powerful these guys are and how much they have. Some of these factions and some of these faction leaders have to prove. The vampire accounts on their own, I mean, I could see it. We saw the theatrical trailer, and in that one, we do see him facing off against the witch hunter one-on-one, sort of. But still, they got an ambush on the Empire army. And the greenskins themselves, it makes sense for them to just want to go ahead and the lords to take on 1 against 20. That actually makes sense. But what I'm hoping is that it's a case-by-case scenario. Even though these guys can take the enemy on their own for a while, probably even defeating a whole unit if they really were inclined, I feel like the better solution would be to have that be based on the faction, the leader, and their demeanor. The greenskins would be more capable or more apt into rushing in alone, while the Empire, say it was Karl Franz, you're with him. I mean, he's gonna be on Deathclaw, and he can support from the air, and that's a little bit more different because you all are kind of like this. You can kind of do things on your own. You can hold your own because you're on this huge creature. But when you're by yourself as a single man, he should, as the AI, and you're fighting the AI, he shouldn't be just thrown in by himself as an Empire, in my opinion. I don't think that should be something that he should do, unless that was something in his characteristic that he would be, more into doing something like that. The dwarves themselves too, I don't think that they should just throw themselves by themselves into a horde of greenskins or a horde of of skeleton warriors or whatever. I just don't think that they should do that, in my opinion. But then again, the lore-wise, going back into the lore, it could be different. There could be many scenarios where they just these heroes lunge in by themselves. And so with Warhammer, I have to go ahead and give this the Curse of the Suicidal General, which is something that I just came up with, honestly, a pass because of the potential fantasy limitations, I guess, or unlimitations. The fact that it's in a fantasy game makes this more believable than if it was in a historical game. So I just wanted to go ahead and discuss my opinion on this, on what I saw in some of these Let's Plays and these streams and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about it, honestly. If anything, if this is something that happens, as long as the general doesn't get killed outright, like at least it gets, you know, he connects the line, and he's that tough that he can connect into the line and rush a pike wall and still get through, rush musket fire and still get through, then it's fine. I would like it to be tweaked with some mods later on, and I would play those mods, but again, it's not that big of a deal. I've seen a lot of people talking about this, saying that this is something that's wrong with the game. And any other game, yes. Any other historical title, yes. If they're the next historical title, if this is something that happens, then yes, it should be addressed. But as far as when it comes to Warhammer, I do think that I can give this a pass, in my opinion. But you guys might think differently. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this suicidal general theory, I guess, or whatever. What do you guys think about the footage you've seen where the generals and the lords and the spellcasters definitely shouldn't go by themselves. They should be supported. They should stay behind the line, in my opinion. But what do you think of what you saw of these individual unit heroes, agents, just going off on their own in fighting hordes 1 versus 20? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's see if we can go to over 50 likes for I think we got the Vampire Counts roster put up today in Total War. Yeah, we did. In the Total War website. So I'll go ahead and put a link to that in the description below if you want to go ahead and check it out, if you haven't checked it out yet. Let's go ahead and see if we can get 50 likes for that. Finally, we get to see some of these warriors and the final faction, I think. I think there's the final one. I don't know. I think Chaos... oh, no. Chaos hasn't come out. I don't know. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our 50 likes, guys. If you like what you see here and like to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see more and become a subscriber today. This is going to be Sunjetsu signing off. Just throwing everything it had at you. And unfortunately, this wasn't something that was a trait to certain generals or certain leaders. This is something that almost every AI, every army you face did. It would be cool if certain leaders and certain generals would have had the tendencies to get upset, or if you had raided them, or you had sent your spies to destroy something that lasts at the general as it starts coming forward and kill all of them there. And back in the day, we would have blamed this or talked more about this as being a AI problem with the AI rushing you, and that the AI would rush you and wouldn't really do any sort of tactics, wouldn't really go around your flank, wouldn't try to pull you in. It really wouldn't do much besides... I'm not sure if 100% now it does with all the updates that might have gone into it. I think maybe every once in a while you will get it. But the AI in Shogun 2 and Fall of the Samurai will literally just throw their general right at you. Right at Ashigaru pike walls. Right at your lines, your infantry lines. Without any real concern for the safety of the general. And what's up, subscribers? Sunjetsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and talk about the curse of the suicidal general. Now, this is something that us veteran Total War players, not even too much veteran, the ones who've played Shogun 2 know that the AI has had, and this made it extremely easy, even on hard difficulty, to kill most of the armies in Shogun 2. Well, actually, yeah, in Shogun 2, actually I would say in both Shogun 2 and Fall of the Samurai it was pretty easy, because in Shogun 2 you could literally just pike wall and they would run their general right into that pike wall, kill them. And then in Fall of the Samurai you could have a line of infantry just